But our thoughts send the signal out, and our emotions draw into our lives an event to match that emotional frequency. Coming to release it and forgive it. There is a forgiveness release that wants to happen. And until that happens, here I go again. I'm feeling all these things. Here comes the anxiety. Here comes the fear. Here comes the pain. Here comes the depression. Here comes the what am I broadcasting versus why is this happening to me?
Get out your magnifying glass, become the observer.
Our thoughts send the signal out, I am suffering. And our emotions, I am suffering, draw into our lives an event to match that emotional frequency. That is a good reason to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, suffering is a broad term here. You could replace it for what it is that you resonate with. Maybe it's not suffering, maybe it's feeling like people don't get you, feeling like you're don't belong, you don't fit in, people don't understand your feelings, you can't express yourself. So whatever it is here. But our thoughts send the signal out, and our emotions draw into our lives an event to match that emotional frequency, which is a good reason to suffer. Some it's almost like I'm asking, and Course in Miracles also says we send out the hungry dogs of guilt. Like we send out the messengers, find me the reason to prove that I need to suffer. Find me a reason that can prove my old pattern. Just really even saying it out loud, it's like that sounds like we're
Like, why would I do that?
yeah. I want to say the word, but I'm like, no, I'm going to say the bad word. But like foolish to do that. Yet, hello, like I can't remember so many times in my life where I'm completely trapped in that.
Yeah.
You want to say
I'm just thinking, I'm thinking about people are probably wondering, like, well, why? Why do we do this?
something?
Why is this part of our nature? What is it in us that keeps us in those roles, in those patterns, in that within that framework of how our life looks? Why do we do that? I have a few ideas. I know you do. Would you like to share?
I do. I feel there's a part of us called the ego that for some reason it thrives in that sense of powerlessness,
Mhm.
and that things are happening to me. There's something about that. Even the people who will do cruel stuff to others, deep down they do have that sense of something was done to me, or even whatever it is. I don't want to dive too deep into that,
Mhm.
but we all have that deep sense of just want to align with that place of victimhood for some reason. So
Yeah.
we're waiting for the right moments to feel that, whatever way it is in our lives. We've what That's why I invite each one to find what is your pattern, because that's where you can really heal as well. And
Mhm.
that's what I was gonna say, is that yes, the ego thrives in that place of you asking why is this, why would we choose something like it's self-punishing so much,
Yeah.
why are we so foolish? That's the ego, that's not us, our true selves. But the true self comes and tells you, hey Gilli, hey Lida, hey, Bula, whoever's watching, Veronica, um it's because it's coming back because you want to forgive this.
Right. We want to release it, right?
Coming to release it and forgive it.
Mhm.
There is a forgiveness release that wants to happen. And until that happens, but it happens like through forgiveness. I'm not saying, the forgiveness that we can. Anyway, there's,
We often say, like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, definitely not that. But even that is cute. I mean, I say I'm sorry all the time, but
I do
I
too.
mean more like the deep release of true forgiveness that we can chat
Yeah.
about, like what because I know we both have practiced quite a bit of it,
Mhm.
what our process is with forgiveness, but especially when it comes to parts of ourselves that we have carried for so long,
Right.
to really forgive those, not easy. Not something that's we're like, oh yeah, sure, let me do that tonight.
Mhm.
We don't prioritize that. There's other things. So a big why is that. But what's your feeling of the why, Gilly?
Well, it definitely is ego-based sense of security or safety, and even, like, the yucky stuff, if we're so used to it, it can feel like safety,
Yeah.
even if it doesn't feel good. But part of the ego is like, well, you know this experience. You know how to navigate this experience. It doesn't feel good, but you've already done this. So you're safe in it. So let's just keep going at it. Let's just keep doing this. And that's the ego saying, hey, I want to keep you safe. And this is the best way I know how. And then their true self is like, that no, that doesn't feel great. And I want more for myself. I don't want to feel so small. I don't want to feel less than. I don't want to feel like I don't matter or that my dreams don't matter or that my feelings don't matter.
Hmm.
And that's often how empaths can feel. My feelings don't matter because I have so many of them. And I've always been told that I'm so sensitive or too sensitive or should disassociate with my feelings. And That's not that's not the way to heal. We have to feel our feelings to know what's going on.
And that's the key of what you're saying and what we're reading right now is because if that emotional frequency that I'm broadcasting out, that I have memorized these emotions and I'm sending them out into the field, and then an event comes just like what I've been sending out to prove and confirm that same emotional frequency, then the way out is what you're saying is that I actually get to look at what it is that I'm feeling so I can start healing it. Because a lot of us we're running from it because it is
Yeah,
intense. It can feel like it's going to be downward spiral that we're going to get into and we're not going to get out.
right.
But I see time and time again that when we actually do get in there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been broadcasting this for so freaking long. It's time that I go and do some work and heal that. Then we start broadcasting joy, we start broadcasting creativity, we start broadcasting inspiration, we start broadcasting, oh, I had this idea, I feel like doing this. All of a sudden, the mind clears.
Yeah.
Is it an easy process? No, but it does get you unstuck.
Mhm.
And it's what you said is even especially for us, because I know we both identify as an empath, highly sensitive person. We feel so deeply, it can be scary to go there. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
here I go again. I'm feeling all these things. Here comes the anxiety, here comes the fear, here comes the pain, here comes the depression, here comes the all the gamut of things.
Mhm.
But we gotta go and look at that so we can then change what we're broadcasting, especially if the things around us show us that something is off,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Especially it's that time to pay attention and be like, what am I broadcasting versus why is this happening to me?
Mhm. Right. Get out your magnifying glass, become the observer, and instead of saying, "I am sad," or "I am depressed," or "I am angry," and this is what I've actually learned from you, Lida, is saying, "I have anger inside of me. I have a feeling of sadness inside of me," instead of saying I am,
Right.
because it helps you to have a distinguishing line or boundary there, with it, so you can release feel the emotion and then release it to become that observer and be like, okay, I had some sadness going on right there. What could that be linked to?
Yeah.
Well, this happened and this happened and this happened. Okay. oh my God, that reminds me of
Yeah,
this time when I was 5 years old and such happened. And then we go into the idea of the forgiveness aspect, the gentleness aspect of it all.
exactly. Gilly just walked us through like the whole thing. She's like, okay, this is what I've been texting you guys. Let's do it all. I love that you walked us through the whole thing. And it's also what I say is I'm experiencing the energy of anger, right? So
Mhm,
emotion, energy in motion.
mhm.
So I'm experiencing the energy of anger. I'm experiencing the energy of anxiety as it's flowing through my body versus I'm depressed, I'm anxious, I'm angry.
Mhm.
Or I have, like you said, I have that inside of me, which means I can
Let it go.
not have it.
Right, right. Thank you. I like that phrasing you just said too. Can you repeat it one more time just
Yeah.
for me and those who are watching?
Yeah, of course. I'm experiencing the energy of anger as energy in motion. It's in motion in my body.
Mhm.
So find what are the emotions that you're experiencing a lot and make that little reframe. I'm experiencing the energy of blank running through my body,
Mhm.
which means that there are ways that I can now let it run out and bring something else in.
I like it. And that's bringing your power back to you,
That's
right?
bringing the power back to you
And being that creator.
in the creator.
Yeah.